The last decade of federal Liberal leadership has left a dent in Alberta's relationship with Ottawa. But a new energy deal signed by the Prime Minister and Alberta Premier Danielle Smith may give the two a fresh start. It comes at a time when Canada is fighting tooth and nail to break away from its dependence on the U.S. But the resignation of one of Carney's cabinet ministers over this pipeline agreement has some wondering if it's a bridge too far. Roger Collins joins us now with the latest. Roger?
That's right, Manisa. Stephen Guilbeault resigned from his role in Prime Minister Mark Carney's cabinet following the deal, saying it dismantles much of the work he carried out when he was Canada's Environment Minister. The move paves the way for Alberta to build a new pipeline to the West Coast that will one day export 1 million barrels of oil a day.
It's a great day for Alberta. It's a great day for Canada. And, at the heart of what is a multifaceted agreement, we have more work to do going forward, but a multifaceted agreement. In effect, it creates an energy transition, all aspects of energy, but really sets the stage for an industrial transformation. At the core of the agreement, of course, is a priority to have a pipeline to Asia. That's going to make Canada stronger, more independent, more resilient, more sustainable.
It's a major shift for Canadian politics. Prime Minister Mark Carney signing a sweeping new agreement with Alberta Premier Danielle Smith on Thursday that clears the path for a new pipeline to the West Coast. The memorandum promises private sector construction of a pipeline capable of moving 1 million barrels a day to a deep-sea port for export to Asia.
Regs, I think, is going to unleash an incredible amount of investment and allow us to work together on important nation-building projects. So this is the first step, I think, of what will be a few more steps we have to take together, but I'm very pleased that the Prime Minister has heard our concerns and responded to them.
But backlash was immediate. Some First Nation communities calling the plan dead on arrival.
This MOU does not override the rights and title of coastal First Nations on BC's North Coast, Central Coast, and Haida Gwaii. We will never consent to allowing oil tankers in our coastal waters.
The fallout also rocked Ottawa. Liberal MP Stephen Guilbeault announcing his resignation from Carney's cabinet, saying the deal lacked consultation with Indigenous nations, would have major environmental impacts, and dismantled the work he carried out when he was the Environment Minister. And in British Columbia, Premier David Eby expressing his own concerns.
The bottom line for us is that we need to make sure that this project doesn't become an energy vampire with all of the variables that have yet to be fulfilled. No proponent, no route, no money, no First Nation support, that it cannot draw limited federal resources, limited Indigenous governance resources, limited provincial resources away from the real projects that will employ people, provide the country with money that we desperately need, and provide investment and access to global markets to deepen our trade relationships overseas.
And environmental experts are pushing back too.
So this is not about making any money for anybody today. This isn't about creating jobs for anybody today. It's not about getting more oil to market today or in a timeline that has any relevance to Trump's presidency or the trade war that we're currently in. This is about building something that will put oil into the market after 2035, though the International Energy Agency tells us that peak demand for oil is actually just around the corner in 2030. This is going to get to market too late.
I mean, right now the world operates on over 80% oil, and even if we were to hit peak and it was to decrease down to 60% of the world's energy coming from oil and gas and fossil fuels, that's still 60% of what this planet is using for energy. The idea of peak demand, even if you hit peak, you still need so much of this stuff. Where do you want it to come from? You know, we've seen what the choices are. And I for one, don't think that I want this in the control of a country like Russia that's going to invade allies. And of course, everyone, all of us want the most sustainable piece, which is why the other half of this MOU, let's not forget, is about the emissions reduction of this very oil we have.
One major issue in this deal is British Columbia's oil tanker ban, which prohibits ships from carrying more than 12,500 metric tons of crude along BC's northern coast. But the memorandum does allow for quote-unquote needed adjustments to that ban.